I had to make a difficult decision, my dad said, shifting uncomfortably in his leather office chair. Ashley's private school tuition was due, and well, I used your college fund. I sat there, staring at him across his mahogany desk, my acceptance letter to MIT still clutched in my hand. At 18, I'd just learned that my entire future had been handed to my stepsister of 6 months. My name is Marcus Chen, and I'd spent my entire life watching my dad build his real estate empire from nothing. He'd always preached about the importance of education, of planning for the future. Now he couldn't even meet my eyes. The whole fund? My voice remained steady, even as my chest tightened. All of it? Marion's daughter deserves the best education possible, he replied, referring to his new wife. Besides, you're smart, Marcus. You can get scholarships, take out loans. Ashley, she needs more support. What he meant was that Ashley, his 16-year-old stepdaughter, had barely passing grades and a shopping habit that matched her mother's. The same mother who'd convinced my dad to upgrade their already luxurious lifestyle the moment they got married. I understand, I said, standing up. Is there anything else? My calm response seemed to unsettle him. He'd expected anger, arguments, maybe even tears. Instead, he got quiet acceptance. Son, he started, but I was already heading for the door. It's fine, Dad, really. I'll figure something out. What my father didn't know, what no one in our newly blended family knew, was that I'd been preparing for something like this since I was 14. The day my mom died 4 years ago, I'd started watching how Marion looked at my dad, how she commented on his success, his wealth. I'd seen the warning signs long before their whirlwind romance and rushed marriage. Back in my room, I opened my laptop and checked my private investment account, the one I'd started with the money from my first coding job at 14, building websites for local businesses, the one I'd grown through careful investments in tech startups, using knowledge gained from countless hours of research and risk analysis. Marcus, Ashley's voice carried through the house. Mom wants to know if you're joining us for dinner at the club. The country club, another new addition to our lives since Marion moved in. I closed my laptop. No thanks, I have work to do. My part-time job at a local tech incubator wasn't just about earning money. It was about connections, learning opportunities, and most importantly, access to information about promising startups before they went public. My phone buzzed with a text from my best friend, David. Did you tell him about the app? I typed back. Not yet, not ever, maybe. The app, our app, was what Marion and my dad would never understand. While Ashley was spending thousands on designer clothes, David and I had been developing a financial analysis tool that was already generating buzz in Silicon Valley. That evening, I sat at my desk, reviewing our latest user statistics. We'd launched the beta version 3 months ago, and the growth was exponential. Venture capitalists were starting to notice. A knock at my door interrupted my thoughts. It was Marion. Your father's worried about you, she said, her perfectly manicured nails tapping against the doorframe. He says you seem distant. I'm fine, I replied, minimizing the screens on my laptop, just busy with school and work. She stepped into my room uninvited, her eyes scanning the space like she was appraising property. You know, Marcus, college isn't everything. Ashley's considering taking a gap year to travel. Maybe you could do the same. What she meant was stop making Ashley look bad by comparison. Thanks for the suggestion, I said politely, but I've already accepted MIT's offer. Her smile tightened. Without a college fund? That's rather ambitious. I met her gaze steadily. I've always been good at planning ahead. After she left, I returned to my work. The latest investor meeting had gone well. Very well. Our app's valuation had just hit 8 figures, and the term sheets were being drawn up. David and I owned 70% of the company, split equally. My phone buzzed again, this time with an email from our lead investor. Forbes wants to do a profile. They're interested in the teenage tech prodigy's angle. Thoughts? I glanced at my MIT acceptance letter, still sitting on my desk. Then at the family photo, my dad insisted we take after his wedding to Marion, where Ashley stood front and center in her designer dress. Let's do it, I replied. But can we time it for after the Series A announcement? Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting angry, it's about getting ahead. The next morning at breakfast, Ashley was gushing about her new private school. Daddy, she called my father that now, my friends say the spring fashion show is amazing. We need at least 3 new outfits. My dad nodded absently, his attention on his phone. Marion beamed at her daughter. Of course, sweetie, we'll go shopping this weekend. I ate my toast in silence, thinking about the meeting I had later with our developers. We were adding new features that would revolutionize how small investors accessed market data, the same kind of data I'd used to build my own portfolio. Marcus, my dad finally looked up. Have you thought about community college? Just for the first 2 years to save money. Before I could answer, my phone rang. It was David. Dude, he said, when I stepped out to take the call. TechCrunch wants an interview. They heard about the Series A. I looked back through the dining room window, where my family sat discussing Ashley's fashion show needs. Tell them yes, I said. It's time. The TechCrunch article dropped on a Tuesday morning. I was in my room already dressed for my investor meeting, when I heard Marian's shrill voice from downstairs. Richard, you need to see this. I adjusted my tie, the same blue one I'd bought with my first investment returns, and headed down. My dad stood in the kitchen, his face pale as he stared at his iPad. The headline read, Teenage Tech Titans, How Two High School Students Built a $50 Million Financial Platform. There was my photo, right next to David's, under the glowing headline. The article detailed everything. Our journey from coding in my bedroom to creating one of the fastest growing fintech startups in Silicon Valley. Marcus, my dad's voice cracked. What is this? I poured myself a coffee, enjoying the heavy silence. My backup plan. 50 million. Marian whispered, grabbing the iPad from my dad. That's impossible. You're just a kid. Actually, I took a sip of coffee. That article's a bit outdated. The latest valuation came in yesterday at 75 million. David and I own 70%. The sound of running footsteps announced Ashley's arrival. What's everyone yelling about? She stopped short, seeing their expressions. What's going on? Your stepbrother, Marian's voice was tight, appears to be some sort of tech millionaire. I checked my watch. I have a meeting with our investors in an hour. But yes, that's roughly accurate. My dad sank into a kitchen chair. Why didn't you tell me? You never asked. I set down my coffee cup. You were too busy funding Ashley's new wardrobe. That's not fair. Ashley protested. Daddy said you were fine with him using your college money. I was fine with it, I replied calmly, because I didn't need it. The doorbell rang. That would be David with our driver. We had presentations to give to potential Series B investors. You're leaving? My dad stood up. We need to talk about this. Actually, we don't. You made your choice about priorities when you gave away my college fund. I made mine when I decided to secure my own future. Marian's face had transformed from shock to calculation. Richard, honey, maybe we should discuss how this affects the family. The family? I laughed, but there was no humor in it. You mean the one you created 6 months ago? The one that decided my education was less important than Ashley's shopping sprees. Now wait a minute, my dad started, but I cut him off. I have to go. Our company's CFO is announcing our expansion plans today. You can read about it in tomorrow's Wall Street Journal. The drive to our meeting was quiet. David, who'd witnessed everything through our Ring camera security system, his idea finally spoke. Your stepmom's already Googling ways to contest inheritance rights. Our security team flagged her searches. I nodded, unsurprised. She'll find out soon enough that everything's ironclad. I turned 18 last month. Remember? The meeting went perfectly. Our platform's user base had tripled in the last quarter, and our new features were revolutionizing how small investors accessed market data. As we walked out of the venture capital firm's office, my phone exploded with notifications. Missed calls from my dad, 12 text messages from Ashley, 23, emails from Marian. 7. I opened one of Ashley's texts. This isn't fair. I'm part of the family too now. We should share. David read over my shoulder and snorted. Share? Like they shared your college fund. Back at our company's office. Yes, we had real offices now. Our team was celebrating the successful investor presentation. That's when our PR director pulled me aside. Forbes wants to do a follow-up piece, she said. They're particularly interested in how you built all this while still in high school. And she hesitated. They heard about the college fund situation. I considered it for a moment. Tell them yes. It's time people understood that success isn't about what you're given. It's about what you build for yourself. That evening, I finally returned home to find my dad waiting in my room. I had no idea, he said quietly. All those hours you spent on your computer, I thought you were just playing games. You never asked. I repeated my words from this morning. You were too busy with your new family. Marcus, that's not fair. I was trying to make things work with Marian. give Ashley the opportunities she needed. And I was trying to secure my future. I interrupted. Because I saw exactly what was coming the day you married her. He flinched. What's that supposed to mean? It means I watched Mom build half of your real estate empire with you. Then she died. And within a year, you married someone who saw you as a blank check. That's enough. But his voice lacked conviction. Marion loves me. Marion loves your money. I corrected. And now she's probably realizing she backed the wrong child. As if on cue, my phone buzzed with another email from Marion. Darling stepson, let's discuss your amazing achievement over dinner. Just the two of us. I showed it to my dad. See? He sat heavily on my bed, suddenly looking older than his 50 years. When did you get so cynical? The day you told me my college fund was gone, I suggested. Or maybe the day you let Marion redecorate Mom's office without even asking me. A knock at my door interrupted us. It was Ashley, her eyes red from crying. Is it true? She asked. You're like actually rich? I looked at her, really looked at her. Behind the designer clothes and entitled attitude was just a kid who'd been taught the wrong values by the adults in her life. The company is valuable, I corrected. There's a difference, but you can afford college now, she pressed. So maybe Daddy can keep helping me with school. And there it was, the mindset Marion had cultivated. Always taking, never building. Actually, I said, I have a better idea. You want me to what? Ashley stared at me in disbelief the next morning. Intern at our company, I repeated, sliding the offer letter across the kitchen table. Learn how businesses actually work. See what it takes to build something valuable. My dad sat quietly beside her, his expression unreadable. Marion hovered nearby, clearly calculating the angles. But I don't know anything about computers, Ashley protested. You don't need to. You'll start in customer service, understanding our users' needs, then move through different departments. Marketing, operations, finance, real experience, real work, and you'll pay her. Marion interjected quickly. Standard intern salary, I confirmed. No special treatment. Ashley picked up the letter, frowning. But what about my shopping days? My social life? Those aren't investments, I said firmly. They're expenses. It's time you learned the difference. To everyone's surprise, including mine, Ashley agreed. Maybe she saw an opportunity. Or maybe she was just tired of being the family's designated spender. Either way, she started the following Monday. The changes were subtle at first. Ashley traded her designer heels for comfortable flats. She started asking questions about investment strategies. She stayed late to learn Excel from our financial team. One evening, about a month into her internship, she came to my office. I get it now, she said quietly. What you built, how hard you worked. I've been kind of awful, haven't I? I looked up from my computer. You were taught to be that way, by Mom, she admitted. She always said finding someone successful was easier than becoming successful. And now? Now I want to build something too. That conversation marked a turning point. Ashley threw herself into learning everything she could. Our team started to genuinely respect her work ethic. Even David admitted she had good instincts for user experience design. My dad noticed the changes too. He started asking more questions about the business, actually listening to the answers. One day he brought me Mom's old business journals. She would have been proud, he said, leaving them on my desk. She always said you had her entrepreneurial spirit. Marion, predictably, was less enthusiastic about Ashley's transformation, especially when Ashley started questioning their excessive spending. But sweetheart, I overheard Marion saying one day, you need to maintain appearances. No, Mom, Ashley replied firmly. I need to maintain my self-respect. The Forbes article came out 2 months later. It told the whole story. The college fund, the secret startup, the family dynamics. But it also told a new story. About a stepsister who chose learning over luxury. About a father rediscovering his values. About the true meaning of investment in yourself and others. Marion left shortly after the article was published. Maybe because Ashley had stopped being her shopping companion. Or because my dad had finally started questioning their expenses. The divorce was quick and quiet. On my first day at MIT, Ashley called with excitement. I just got approved to lead the new user interface project, she exclaimed. And I did it without asking for any favors. Proud of you, I said, and meant it. My dad helped me move into my dorm room. As we unpacked, he handed me an envelope. "What's this?" "Investment capital," he said. "Not that you need it now. But it's what I should have given you instead of excuses." I opened it to find a check. The exact amount of my original college fund. "I'll invest it in Ashley's future," I decided. "In a proper investment account, one she can learn to manage herself." He nodded, understanding. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about teaching others to rise above what they were taught to be. That evening, I received an email from our PR team. A major business magazine wanted to do a piece on young entrepreneurs who changed their family dynamics through success. "Should we do it?" they asked. I thought about Ashley's transformation, about my dad's redemption, about the true meaning of investment in people. "Yes," I replied, "but let's focus on the future, not the past." Because sometimes the best investment isn't in stocks or startups. It's in showing others there's always a better way forward. The end.